Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload, there's going to be a video about a big snowstorm. And yes, again, another big storm. You may be wondering if this is clickbait, this is repetitive. No, I assure you. We are experiencing two possible snowstorms that will be occurring this week, where one will be a little bit weaker. I still coined it a big storm as it will be powerful, bringing quite a bit of snow, but the second one, I mean, that could be a monster. So anything compared to that second one would be a weaker storm. I mean, not much would be stronger than that. But yeah, consider subscribing, guys. Consider liking the video. It really means a lot, really helps this channel grow, helps me achieve my dream. I don't even really know what that dream would be at this point. I just, want to make these videos for you. So go ahead, subscribe, and consider liking this video. Let's look at the GFS, which is actually quite conveniently just coming in. The 18Z model run, it is 4:07 p.m. in the afternoon as I'm recording this. And we see that 18Z Saturday, which again is that recent, is only go up to 114 hours. So it shows that nor'easter right here, a little bit of snow for the northeast in Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine. It's actually pretty strong. You can see, sorry about this, my keyboard is unbalanced for some reason, and that's causing my OCD to go off. I don't really know why. Okay, but notice that the storm's actually, there we go. The storm's actually pretty big. It's just that it's not a lot of cold air with it, so the snow stays minimalized. Then notice we get into a warmer pattern. We actually see a little bit of a break. Warmer, relative to where we've been. It's not really a warm pattern. I mean, it will be a little bit above average, but nothing to brag about. We go into the future, we see a storm system which initially originated from the Pacific. This is why this system's a bit weaker, as the Gulf of Mexico is not open for this one, and it doesn't really seem like it will. It does tap some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, but it comes out from the Rockies as a weaker storm. But notice, it does put out a nice band of snow across Nebraska, northern Kansas, into Iowa, and into Minnesota, but Minneapolis would be under this, and into northern Wisconsin. This would actually, the GFS has conservative amounts on this. We're about, this is the second storm, by the way, that big one. I mean, you could tell this is already massive. It's already so well organized in the mountains. It has just so much moisture to work with that this storm is basically told by Mother Nature. Shame on you if you do not take occasion, if you don't take the, I guess, the opportunity to make a big storm out of this. I mean, seriously. This first one will have a harder time, but it still gets down to 9.8. You can see 9.86 millibars. That's pretty strong. There will be some heavy snow with this. This will be occurring around that Tuesday, or late Tuesday, really developing, and then into Wednesday. So the busiest day of the travel day across Wisconsin, UP of Michigan, into Iowa. I mean, Chicago will just be rainy and windy. So basically, the worst thing you could have asked for: rain, wind. It could have been snow, so that would have been even worse. Let's look at the snowfall amounts without a further drag on. Notice there are some pockets of up to 6 inches. That's a pink color. Widespread though, 2 to 3, possibly 4 across these locations. Now let me show you the European. The European has quite a different opinion on this. Yes, it's the very same track, actually almost scary similar, which is, scary but not scary, helps me out as a forecaster, but the European and GFS often don't do this, but when they do, it helps us out. You can see widespread 7, 8, 9, locally up to 10 inches or so, a little bit more than a GFS, but still a major snowstorm. As you can see, the mountainous northwest would be seeing quite a bit. Sierra Nevada up to definitely, I would say, 30 inches of snow in those yellow colors. And then let's look at Maine. I want to quickly show you what's going to come with the snowstorm that is going to occur over this weekend, Sunday and Monday. You can see up to 9, 10 inches as well. So pretty impressive with that as well. And I want to show you what the European does with that second system, by the way. Look at these amounts. We get snow all the way down into southern Missouri, as almost not much, but up to an inch of snow. The GFS puts out quite a bit of snow across western Kansas. The European does not as much. But just look at that amount right there, 26 widespread across all of northern Wisconsin, Minneapolis, upper 30s or upper 20s. Then we get into a potential hotspot of 45. I mean, that's just ridiculous amounts of snow. 13 inches, 9 inches, look at that. And, again, this would be one on top of the other, two storms compiled. But let's look at this location. This is 27 inches of snow, 28, And let's look what happened with that first storm, around 8, 20 minus 8, possibly still, 20 inches with that second storm. So that second storm could be just absolutely horrendously big. But basically, let's just look at what the European does. I'll keep it on this website just for no reason really. I just want to show you some of the rain and thunder, and this incorporates the snow as well. So let's see what it does. Again, you can see it puts out a nice band of snow across Vermont, New Hampshire, Western New York, or sorry, Eastern New York, and into Northern Maine. This nor'easter has a lot of moisture to work with it. It's basically open right by the Atlantic Ocean. However, we see, again, the storm kind of developing here, which initially is pretty weak, nothing too strong. It's just from the northwest Pacific moisture, but it quickly, you can see, goes through some cyclogenesis, or basically quick formation of the storm. Gets quite a precip from the Gulf of Mexico. You can see these winds streaming in. This would be very interesting, and we see nice snow band right across here on Tuesday, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. You can see this continues to move through the east. Some heavy to light to moderate to heavy rain. I would say actually light to moderate rather for Chicago, Indiana, and all the way down into southern U.S. But look at this snow swap. This could be some great amounts of this. And notice even some heavier snow right there, almost an inch an hour if this is over 3 hours, and this is 3 inches. So that's almost 1 inch and 1.2 inches of snow per hour, which is impressive. And then this thing wraps up and moves off quickly to the north, being mainly a rainmaker for the Northeast, except excluding Maine, which obviously usually always somehow ends up seeing snow. Notice the second system is just an absolute doozy. Look at that. It initially starts off as snow across Chicago, and then there's a huge band of snow up to the north. Not really intense, but maybe half an inch of snow per hour. So that would be still relatively strong enough. And then notice, just the widespread of this, and just the amounts of moisture coming in with this are just impressive. And look at that, we're just a huge band of snow develops. Basically extending from Mexico border right there all to the Canadian border, a swath of snow, which is probably overdone by the European at this point. But seriously, this has great potential, and you can see this just wraps around and stays for a while just in one place, not really moving. And it's just, again, it kind of wraps around and gets even into locations like northern Illinois and into Iowa. This has just so much moisture with it. It doesn't know how to handle it. Well, let's focus on that first system, that little smaller system. Let's look at the vorticity with this. I actually want to look at the MSLP norm anomaly. This is basically like the precipitable. Wait, no, hold up. Let's go to Pewatt normal anomaly. I want to see how much there is moisture with this system. Notice that with this first system, if this were too low, the GFS, okay, so we start initially with not much moisture across the U.S. as there's quite a bit of cold here, but again, it starts getting some of this moisture up here, and that's indicated by the 1 to 2 to 3 more, what is this, 3, hold up, 3, I guess just MSLP and precip, so I guess just 3 units of above normal precip, and you can see this does drag in quite a bit of precipitation. That's why it brings some pretty good snowfall rates. But just look at the second system; it has so much more moisture, which is just almost excitingly scary. But with this first one, it's still a big storm. Again, it's 981. Let's look at the MSLP 10 meter. Where is this 10-meter wind? It's gonna be a pretty windy storm. It's gonna get some winds to from the southern U.S. in the locations where it's gonna be rainy. It's gonna get some winds from the northwest in the locations where it's gonna be snowy. And overall, just a pretty strong, powerful storm. Notice this one by the northeast gets quite a bit of winds in there as well, so that can be a wind maker for you as well. You'll notice this one, pretty powerful. Not extremely powerful, but anytime you get those green and yellow colors, where that is like 40 miles per hour of wind. So, that is pretty strong. And look at this storm right here, which is going to be originating the snowstorm from, or where the snowstorm will originate from, the second one. I mean, it's just insanely powerful. And then notice as it moves off into the lakes, we get the widespread up to 30 to 40 miles per hour. It definitely has the potential, the strength to do so across the lakes. It will be even more across the open waters. You're going to notice that it gets up to 40 to 50 knots, which is powerful. And then it moves off into the ocean, which obviously it strengthens even more. But then this storm, I mean, it's just scary to even look at. When it's already 980, once it reaches Nebraska, you know that this thing will just explode. So yeah, seriously though, these snowfall amounts are going to be impactful. Notice that with the European model, again, let's just look with this first storm. You'll notice that there's going to be quite a bit across St. Paul. So basically Minneapolis, around 8.7, around 8-9 inches. Northern Wisconsin, deer hunting season may come to a kind of a halt if this continues for, again, if we get potentially up to 30 inches of snow. But you could see Marquette up to 13.7 inches. The Green Bay kind of on that cusp between, could be seeing anywhere from 2 inches on the northwest side and basically nothing on the southeast side. Des Moines, again, not seeing much out of this one either. Chicago, not seeing much either as well. The European really likes to drag this one further to the north. Sioux Falls, though, Sioux City, just widespread 7.6, 7 inches, 9.8. And then again with that second system, things just go all out. This is also with that with those systems across Maine. You could see 19, 20 inches. So definitely quite a bit of snow for those locations in Maine as well. They're not getting away. They're not running away without any snow. So by all means, definitely a big storm. So yeah, I'll definitely be making updates about this in the coming days. Thank you guys so much for watching. Consider liking the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. And I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.